Hey there, welcome again to another episode from Attitude Makeover. This is Saujanya Shetty. As an ace tennis player, award-winning RJ, and a dear friend, I've known RJ Prithvi to be one who lives each day as it comes. One look at him and you're sure that he's about to come up with a wisecrack. In this candid conversation, Prithvi takes us through his journey from 12 years of professional tennis that didn't pan out as per his plans to stumbling upon the power of voice and finding his passion align with his personality. He lets some secrets out about his ever so charming, positive, and joyous persona, and how he has consciously mastered the art of being non-judgmental, putting in 100% into anything he takes up, regardless of the outcome, is second nature to him. A discovery that helped him understand himself and leverage the value of language and humor. We also try to decode his fashion sense and his stint in the famous reality show, The Bigg Boss in Kannada. This one's for all those who are in for a fun, engaging chat and looking to wrap their heads around the idea of becoming what you would like to see for yourself. Listen on, and I hope you enjoy it. Hey Prithu, thank you so much. By the way, can I call you Prithu, Prithvi?
You can call me what you want, Saujanya. First of all, let me congratulate you on this new journey.
Thank you.
From such a successful corporate life to have pursued your newfound passion. I'm really genuinely excited for you and happy for you. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. I'm going through a wonderful learning journey, I guess.
Lovely. So nice to know.
It's a lovely experience to talk to people,
and you've
from
been
their journey.
Talking about this so often.
Yes.
With your friends in the group. And
yes.
I am so happy finally you made it happen. You go, girl!
So I want to start off with Prithvi. Who is Prithvi?
How about we start with this? You tell me who is Prithvi, then I will try to add on. I mean, it's such a vast question. Who is Prithvi? And Prithvi is Earth. Everything. All collective experience of my life journey. But I would like to hear from you. Please.
Sure. So for me, Prithvi is a wonderful friend. An awesome friend. Extreme positive energy.
Excellent.
Very compassionate, very empathetic, and non-judgmental. And I love that bit about you. Extremely passionate about what you do.
I feel so good already. Yeah! Good, I threw the question back at you. Awesome. Yeah, I would like to believe I'm all of that. And there is conscious effort in shaping myself the way I have become.
Yeah.
My core philosophy, I think that's where everything falls in place for me. All that you said is to treat another human being the way you like to be treated.
Yes.
That has taken such good care of all aspects of life. If you ask me who is Prithvi, I don't know who is Prithvi. Prithvi is a radio jockey, he's a professional MC. Yes, he's passionate. And that's why I would like to show off about my flying. I was so passionate about flying. I went through the course and flew, made my first solo takeoff. Anything I like to do, I would like to do it passionately.
Yeah, you put your 100% into it. I've seen that.
Yes. I don't know if there is any other way of doing it, because if you do it any other way, I don't know if you're doing justice for whatever you're trying. Regardless of the outcome, I would like to give in a large chunk of me, as much as possible, to my fullest.
Yeah. Holds
I
good
love
with
to
relationships as well. You give your 200% there.
I do. Oh, you mean 200 because I've given 100 to the first one, the 100 to the second one. I've been married twice. Yes. I've given, 100% in anything that I do.
Yeah.
And I have a great relationship with my ex-wife,
Yeah.
Aditi. Non-judgmental is something that, what you said, that is something that I practice.
Yes.
And I also practice to be positive, joyous, and happy.
Yes.
Just like how you clean the floor every day. It's an effort to keep it clean. If you don't, it'll gather dust. Just like how you want to build muscle or lose weight on a regular basis. It's a regular, constant effort. It's a lifestyle change, which I have realized in the last few years. So there is a constant effort towards bringing a better version of myself. That I constantly aspire to.
Yeah, I've seen this, and it's not like I simply made that statement.
I know what you say.
That.
You really mean it because, of course. Thank you for that. Thank you. You said that absolutely in all sincerity, and thank you.
I'm going to start the conversation with, when you were a kid, you were growing up in an amazing background, mom an artist,
Yeah.
right? And the influence you have as a result of that on you as a person.
Sure.
Were you always a curious one, the funny one, or were you a shy kind? What kind of a personality were you growing up, and how much did home influence who you are?
I think I was all of it.
Yeah?
Maybe funny too, because I know my parents have laughed at my jokes. So I have some friends, neighbors. The way I remember is I've had a happy childhood. Parents who love and respect each other. We had very fond memories of my childhood. When you said compassionate, did you use the word? I don't know. I have learned to be generous because of my dad. He's a very generous, giving person. And he has seen such hardships. That is the result of who he has become. And as you rightly said, a lot of influence from my dad and mom. Mom is actually, both of them have a great sense of humor. What I learned from my mom. Hi, Ma. I'm saying this just for my mommy.
Hello, Auntie.
Hi. Her name is Indu Vishwanath. She's a professional musician. I learned to take a joke on myself. That I learned from my mom. I think that's such a great quality, to laugh at yourself. I have learned that from my mom. I have acknowledged this to my mom many, many times. And I've told this to my dad too. I get the generosity from you. Giving for the love of giving. It's without
Expectations.
And maybe subsequently, that could be the starting point of also somewhere being non-judgmental about things. Not expecting anything. Even my mom, they're very progressive parents, when and the fact that they themselves, in 1977, they eloped. It was an intercaste marriage. They didn't have any support from either sides, mom's side or dad's side. So seeing that, they have seen a lot of life very early. There are some who can't even think of it even today. So that way they are progressive in their thinking, and I'm sure all of it has definitely influenced me. And I used to love, I still do love to entertain people. Like if somebody laughs at my jokes, or as an artist, I thrive. That's what fuels my energy on a daily basis, whether I'm on air or whether I'm on stage, to genuinely entertain people or genuinely see people laughing. So as a kid, apparently I used to imitate people.
Oh.
Not apparently. I
Mimicry,
remember.
is it?
Kind of. My mom's friend was an artist. I used to sing like her. They were like, wow. People used to love it, and they kept asking me, Prithvi, say mado, ad mado, aur tara mado, you tara mado. Please talk like him, talk like her. So I don't know. I think somewhere was seeded in me to what I have become. Although there was a brief shift in the lane. I used to be a professional tennis player. That was my dad's shared dream with me. I went so far, but I couldn't go beyond that. Lack of skill or whatever it is. I tried really hard for 12 years. And what I learned from tennis is to accept defeat gracefully. Because I only lost. So Tsorekai every time. So I've learned a great deal from losing. There's so much to learn from losing. And tennis taught me discipline. Tennis taught me how to put your energies and focus on one thing and keep raising even if you fall 1,000 times, because I kept losing. Every time you come back, refresh, regroup, and in the hope that you might conquer this match. That's what I learned from tennis. So it's a mix of a lot of experiences. And my first wife, her name is Betsy. It was such a culture mix, and at that age for me, culture shock to see the way they live, the way I live. I've learned from that. And my second wife, Aditi, she's such a huge influence on my life.
Total sweetheart as well.
She's a darling, humongous influence in making me a better person.
Which school did you study?
Sri Venkateshwara Montessori Maniprabha English Primary School.
Shut up, the other one I'm waiting for.
The other one is, the first school is Webster's. I know what you're getting at, Saujanya. You never get that. Okay, I studied in a school called PTA.
PTA?
PTA.
Full form?
Parents Teachers Association. Can you please cut this part later on? Please don't keep this. We have had enough jokes on this. It was a split version of East-West school, but yes, I did study in PTA.
Very creative school. They couldn't even come with a better name.
Which school did you study in?
Clooney Convent.
PTA, one up. I'm one up. Clooney Convent.
Hello.
Why did you laugh? You know it sounds so funny already when you say Clooney.
PTA.
Okay. Prithvi, which school did you study in? PTA. Saujanya, which school?
Clooney Convent. Clooney.
Clooney. I think I studied in a better school. And I think both of us turned out reasonably okay.
Yeah,
no matter which school we studied in. PTA or Clooney Convent. Clooney Convent. It's so funny.
So I want to go back to your tennis days.
Sure.
So
there's nothing much there. Actually, go back. Yeah, sure. Let's go back.
That's 12 years, right? Very
12
unconventional way. Well,
unconventional, so to speak.
Right? At that time, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And
what is this, in the 80s?
First of all, whoever is listening, I'm not that old. Tennis was a few years ago. My dad, I told you, right? He was one guy because of which I could pursue as long as I did for 12 years. My mom was against. She's like, please get a degree. Vodo. First just study something. And my mom's background is different. My dad's background is different. And dad said, just do it. Don't worry about what others are saying. We'll try, give it a shot. And we had a plan. We'll try X number of years, and by the time you're 20 or 21, if you are not ranked in the world, then we'll call it quits. And what was my backup plan? To go into my dad's business. He specializes in diamond jewelry. So that sounded all right as a kid. Okay, so I have a backup plan. I was scared. Okay, what? Neither tennis, not this, then what do I do? So having...
But were you really interested in tennis?
Initially, yes. I equally shared it passionately, like my dad. So it was a shared dream, of course. He initiated, Prithvi, I want you to play tennis. And we watched tennis in TV. I said, yeah, I want to play this game. And I pursued it with absolute passion for many, many years. I was ranked 6th in the state. I was ranked 42 in the country. I played international tournaments. 1997, I was a part of US Open.
Oh.
Yeah, I had free scholarship for me to go and train there because I was ranked in the country. They didn't charge a single penny. They were very, very gracious, very kind. I played with all the kids there, and so we had the special privilege to be the ball boys in 97 US Open because I trained at the USTA National Center I must tell you this. Show off alert! I was along with John McEnroe.
Oh, really?
A part of the ribbon cutting ceremony for Arthur Ashe Stadium. So in 97 it was inaugurated, and I was one of the students standing next to
John
McEnroe for the ribbon cutting inauguration, and I was the first person in the world to have stepped onto the court and played the first few balls after inauguration.
Way.
Me and my other students from that center, where McEnroe did the inauguration.
Have you taken some photos?
Yeah, I have a lot of them.
Nice.
Yeah,
that must be some experience.
It is. Yeah, going to the US for that 6 months training in the USTA National Center was something very, very different, and I got to see the players that I idolized up close, and they deliberately gave me some of the matches for Leander and Mahesh Bhupati. Back then they were partnering, so they said and that particular match had all Indian ball boys and ball girls. I was very thoughtful of them. But otherwise I've seen Sampras up close, Agassi, Aranza, Sanchez, Vicario, Ivanisevic, all the players that I idolized, including Rod Laver, who won the Grand Slam. Had a Grand Slam year, won all the surfaces. So they had a national parade in the USTA center. I got to see them all close. For a tennis
aspirant, right?
Yeah,
and someone on that
treat.
journey.
It's a treat.
Yeah. And tell me, one part of sports, I believe, and I keep telling my daughter this, is like sports.
Hi, Adya. If Adya is listening, I know your daughter is Adya.
Yeah.
She's a lovely girl. I think you and Shamir, you guys have done a great job.
Thank you.
Really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So one of the things I tell her, sports is like an awesome teacher.
It is.
Right? You talked about focus. You talked about
so much
discipline, failure.
Yeah.
Right.
Grace.
Yes.
Even physical grace.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You take a walk and I'll take a walk.
You have always. I don't even have. You just have to bloody walk into a room.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm
like
talking about really, it improves your physical
Yes.
grace in anything that you do.
Yes.
Maybe you want to dance, maybe you want to skate, maybe you want to pursue another sport. It gives you a sense of how to use your body well.
Yeah.
So much more too.
And you start respecting your body and your own self, and you have so much perspective of how your mind thinks, how the whole coordination works, right?
Yeah.
So this is how old you were, like what, 12, 13, and you're going through this
I started tennis
journey?
actually late. I started, I think, at 13, which is too late. The champions, for example, Agassi started, I think, at the age of 5 or 6 or 4. Yeah. 13 was a bit too late, but I tried my best. I played for 12 years. After first 5 years, that repetitive losing, I think it killed my passion for the sport. Slowly, I started losing. Even the passion to have. After a while, it had become such an effort to every day yet hope and work. So I think around 1999 or around 2000, I went to my dad and said, Vishwa, that's it. I went to my bathroom and I know I've howled like a baby. That's resulting from the fact that I have disappointed my dad. He was pinning his hopes on me. I really spent a lot of money. I had that guilt and the fact that a sense of personal failure man, I tried so hard and nothing worked out. And the fear of, oh my God, now I have to get into my dad's business, which I was not so keen. And
Yeah.
I thought it's going to be such a depressing life.
Yeah.
So the mixture of so many things. And for the fact that like a single man army, my dad backed me up so strongly against all odds in the family. So it was a mix of so many emotions. I howled like a baby. Then came to terms. Then, ta-da! Other things happened.
But tell me one thing. How did you come out of that from a mind perspective? See, body is much more easier. From a mind perspective, how did you come out of it?
I just accepted that, Prithvi, you tried this, didn't work for you, accept it and move on.
Let go and move on.
Let go. Because that I've done it now all 12 years.
Yeah.
Lose, go on, lose, move on. That is, accepting was not difficult. But the other bits, the future, the uncertainty, the disappointment, that was difficult. Acceptance was okay. There was also a sense of relief. Okay, I don't have to try this anymore. I'm done. I was not so keen on taking my dad's profession. Somehow I thought it's not my cup of tea. But I tried for 3 years. He helped me. See, the moment you start earning, that gives you a certain amount of joy and certain amount of freedom. So I enjoyed that initial bit of earning, making my own money. Then life took me on to a completely different lane. That's maybe your next question.
Yeah.
That is, can't be more thankful for what happened after that.
The RJing, right?
First MCing happened.
Oh, you did MC first.
Yeah, Master
But
of
first I want
Ceremonies.
to understand, how is running the jewelry business? What are you doing in the jewelry business?
Oh, initially he helped me generate some money with this gold scheme. My friends called it gold scam. Oh, Prithvi's famous gold scam. But actually I didn't scam anyone. They were very, very generous. You have to pay 300 rupees a month, and then in 3 years you get the money back plus some extra bonus jewelry. And that's how we started. Without capital, that was my dad's idea. So he started apparently. But me going to the floor, interacting with the workers, and that's something I didn't see. I didn't enjoy or didn't even see doing it for too long. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Whether being a radio jockey or MC was something that I never aspired. It accidentally happened, and man, what a relief. I really feel like I belong in that space. I belong to that space.
So you were always a confident.
No, where? I'm telling you how much I've lost. Where
but
my confidence was. It was down in the dumps, Saujanya. Where was my confidence? A person who's lost. How depressive my life was. How depressing my life was. Where is the confidence? Where am I seeing confidence? I'm only lost.
But you're also like a humorous person. You're like a extrovertish person. Going on stage and all wouldn't be a frightful thing for you.
Correct. So that happened much later. You're talking about life post-tennis. My formative years, please understand, was tennis. It revolved around tennis.
How many hours were you doing tennis every day?
Oh. With the whole physical workout, a regular 8-hour shift kind of a thing. I mean, 8 hours.
Every day?
Yeah, for years.
That explains those bloody muscles I feel.
I mean, right now I've lost muscles. It was there. It existed in the past.
Oh, those
now
thighs.
We're getting back.
You have to feel those thighs. It's like metal.
Oh, stop! She's feeling it under the table. Stop, Saujanya! Oh my dear Lord! Anyway, as long as you're enjoying the session.
I'm surprised you're not complimenting mine.
Oh yeah, Saujanya also has great thighs and
Calves.
which are other body parts? Calves. And there are other parts too. Yeah. Why did we go to tennis, by the way?
Well, confidence.
Oh yeah. that is much later. So the little confidence I got was from my friends. Prithvi, I think you should go try VJing. I actually auditioned for MTV. A couple of times. VTV, and then there was also some a channel called Southern Spice, SS Music or something. I tried all that because this was
Shakira used to come in that.
Really? Shakira?
Correct, no?
Shakira.
Southern
I mean,
Spice.
not as a whole, her songs and all of that. Not Shakila.
Shakila. Shakira. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. I think sorry. Yeah, I think there's a different SS you're talking about. I think there was a little extra spice in that SS you're talking about. So I did all that. And I also auditioned for All India Radio. That was my starting.
Yeah.
Oh, first. So during my tennis injuries, right, that's when I tried doing other bits. While I was also pursuing my dad's jewelry thing was there in my back of my mind to start. But this was when while I was actively a tennis player yet, but I had some injuries, so you had taken time off for healing and rehabilitating. My sister, her name is Siri. I was very impressed with a couple of odd jobs that she used to do in her. Usually, I think in summer holidays, in the vacations. You allow yourself to take up odd jobs, right? Sit at the desk, welcome people, usher people. There was an agency called Pixies. I used to love doing those kind of jobs. It was far more interesting for me than my dad's business. They paid 250 rupees a day, 100 rupees a day, 150 rupees, 300 rupees a day. I was... back in the days, I'm talking about, I don't know, eons, decades, 9,000-10,000 rupees as a student was like, wow, I love doing and interacting with people, talking to people. I think that was the starting point of holding the mic for my first road show as an MC. Her name is Samantha, and I acknowledge that every time people ask this question, she was the first one to say, I think we should give this guy a mic and let's see what he does. And that was a jump from 250 rupees to 350 rupees a day. I was like thrilled. I was like, wow. And she hired me for like 20 days. That was quite a decent sum of money back in the days. And just doing part-time jobs like this. I was like so impressed. And then it was word of mouth. Apparently, I did a good job. And word of mouth, people then started hiring. And then I started increasing my prices. That's how it started. So when you asked me confidence, there was nothing.
So, but I also believe that fundamentally, when people know what they love to do, it could be like, just walking, it could be swimming, it might be just meeting
You're saying fundamentally people already know it, just that you need a chance to explore it.
Illapa.
Then?
I'm saying people always have some, things that they're very passionate about that really brings joy to them. It keeps them happy. So when you do that, and then that, and you sort of grow around that, as in like, I like, for example, walking.
Sure.
Right? And if I then do a business or a profession around that, then I'm already happy. I'm in that zone and I'm actually attracting more happiness and more content.
So I'll tell you what, I love having sex.
So do I. Let's talk.
I mean, you're passionate about so many things that way, right?
Correct.
I actually, as a kid, I thought I should become a gigolo. Really make money.
Yeah, I wanted to marry a underworld don. I wanted to marry Muthappa Rai. At 7th standard, I told my mother.
Really?
I want to marry him. I got blasted like crazy. Mandesama unda.
But then, of course, your interest and your passion also evolves over time. But there are so many things you can be passionate about. Right? Even I love to jog. I love to exercise and work out, which I always did.
Yes.
But this is a different... I didn't know I have a chance to even explore this side.
I'm saying, I think you derived joy in meeting people, for example.
Sure, I did. Yes, I did.
And then this just gave you that platform for expanding that reach. And that really clicked as against the jewelry store, which is the jewelry business, which is like, right? Yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to...
No, it's possible. But I'm saying, as a human being, you're passionate about so many things. But I don't know how many of those can be converted into a profession or in a business. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, I love to fly.
Absolutely.
I love to lift weights.
Yeah.
I do love meeting people and having a thought-provoking conversation. I like watching movies. There's so many things that you can really enjoy, but I mean, can be quite a task to actually pinpoint as to what direction you're supposed to be heading, and that was not available
back then
in tennis. This happened accidentally. I'm grateful. But I'm sure it's still a struggle to a lot of people to really find out their calling. If you were to say, it could take some time, but it's worth exploring.
It is.
It's really worth exploring, and privileged are the ones who can explore.
And figure this out.
Such as you.
Oh yeah. I'm
You're
actually
a fine
loving
example.
this. Every day I'm like totally enjoying this.
Awesome. But how is it that it took you so many years for you to explore this side of you? Was it always there?
It was there.
Always.
I don't know if it is always there.
Exactly my point. You don't know. You can be passionate about so many things. At which point in your life do you realize that?
I think it all comes, like I told you, I did this RJ in New York.
Correct.
A while back. I loved it.
But you didn't do anything about it.
No.
So?
I came back to India.
Fair.
And then I reached out to, at that time it was 91.9 or something. I wrote an email saying, hey, I would love to meet up with you, US Salva. I was like, you are privileged to meet me, kinds. I'd love to meet you guys, and I've been doing this for a year. But no one even responded. And then I moved on because I got a lovely job at HP and I loved the job. I got engrossed in that. But I knew nuances of things. Like, for example, I loved the whole idea of talking to people. I didn't know Hindi, but I was playing Hindi songs.
Same here. I still do it. हमको आता है थोड़ा हिंदी.
हमारा नाम मुस्कान है. आप कृपया आपका रिक्वेस्ट बोलो.
You spoke like that.
Yeah.
I think.
And then they would talk in English.
You make me feel superior in Hindi. I think हमारा हिंदी आपके भी ऊपर है, बेहतर है.
That is where हमारा हिंदी बहुत ही निपुण है started.
Oh yeah. You actually said that on my show on radio when you were in the studio back then.
So yeah, I loved it. But then I moved on, and then when I was doing pre-sales, I realized I enjoy meeting people. I don't enjoy crowds. I enjoy one-on-one conversations.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I love.
Oh, you don't enjoy crowds?
No.
Why, you thrive pretty well when we all meet. Maybe
that's
a closely knit
I'm very
group.
comfortable with you guys. But otherwise, I don't enjoy crowd. I feel very claustrophobic. I feel very shy.
What age was this when you realized you really enjoy pre-sales and
meeting people, not pre-sales? I think.
You know what? I enjoyed it too. I did some.
Exactly.
So I sold books on the streets. I have sold glasses in exhibitions, water filters, and I've made good money with just the commission. And I think I was good at that too. Yes. But when you, Saujanya, so you have so many options in front of you that one, you enjoy, two, it can be rewarding, three, you're good at few things. Now, how do you pick?
You can't, right? Like, say, I didn't pick, right?
Exactly.
I went about doing HP, program management and things like that. I worked for 25 years.
Awesome.
At some point, you start, I think it's quite late. Ideally,
I don't think nothing is late.
Yeah, of course.
It's better late than never.
But if I were to go back and tell my 22-year-old self what to do, I would have changed this a little more differently as a story.
It is so unfair that you can tell this to your 22-year-old self after seeing so much of life.
Yeah.
If you had not seen, there's no way you could have told this to your 22-year-old self. So it's a pointless.
So you're saying go through the whole journey.
Yeah.
Experience
the
it.
only way to go through is to go through the mill.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have never arrived at where you are.
Yeah.
What will you tell your 22-year-old then?
Yeah. But
you can tell that today, yes, but it's pointless. No? That is where.
But Prithu, tell me one thing. At that age, when you're growing up, until I think for a lot of us, it is not what gives you joy, what gives you happiness and all that is important. It is more, where's the money?
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So I think at some point I was going after success,
Right.
because
Yeah.
that's the whole definition over there. At some point, I was going through money, but at some thankfully, because it is Shamira married,
Correct.
it wasn't such a priority after a point.
Sure.
But then I was, not that we have richness from the beginning, we grew.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
You've worked your way
we
for that,
worked
yeah.
hard towards
Yeah.
that. But at some point, I was able to say fuck off for things.
Sure.
And say, no, this is not for me.
Mm.
But I worked towards that. So, and it's because of that, then you can step back and say, oh, I don't like to do this. I would like to try this. I'd like to try that.
Correct.
Alva.
Correct.
But how many people can really do that?
Yeah. So that was your driving factor, right? What drove you? For me, it was, I was just naturally so attracted to glamour. And I thought emceeing was a glamorous field. Being a radio jockey is a glamorous field. I was so drawn to it. Of course, and also the fact that you can entertain people and people are responding, they're enjoying what I do, that was such a kick. And plus it's rewarding in terms of money as well, because this is something which was an absolute contrast from my dad's profession. So I was naturally inclined towards this side. MC, go, speak. I'd like to wear jazzy clothes. And of course, back in the days, it was, I wore some disastrous clothes.
Yeah, I've seen you back then.
I've groomed myself very, very hard because I had a very low self-esteem.
Was that the time, like, this was what?
Very low.
2000...
No, this was all, I think...
97, 90...
Maybe, I don't know the age, I mean the year, since it's been 100 years since we went to school. But usually, around school to college, I always thought my language was inadequate. My English was inadequate. It's not that it's not inadequate, Rao. It's a work in progress. But I'm saying, I started as a Kannada radio jockey, first year. And the very next year, it changed to being a Bollywood station and I had to speak in English. It is not that I couldn't speak English, but when you are on stage or when you are behind the mic, such as a radio station, you better have the command for the language, which as I used to think in Kannada. What came off
was also
everything. So I could think in Kannada, translate that in English. It loses in translation. So I made this conscious effort to tweak, and because I wanted to improve my English, my diction, my vocabulary, started thinking in English. If you start thinking in the language that you don't know, it is such a struggle. For example, in which language do you think? Now I'm sure you think in English. By now. I don't know when that shift happened, whether you are aware of it.
I think...
For me, it was conscious.
Yeah.
For me, that shift was because I wanted to improve.
I only... When I'm angry, like super angry. Like
roots will take over.
Like Tulu comes in.
But you don't think in Tulu.
No. But
now, if you were to have this entire interview in Tulu.
Oh, yeah, that's
with
very
very
difficult.
limited words.
Yeah.
Your even thoughts are limited. Your expression is limited.
Yeah.
So my effort was consciously to improve my language, vocabulary, and everything. I think a lot of people, even when tennis, right? When I traveled across the country to play tournaments, I could see. I used to be in awe of people who could speak better English, better language skills. So yeah, I mean that was a conscious effort to really work, and hence, for a person with that kind of self-esteem, not confident in the way he speaks, his language and everything, to take up a profession such as emceeing and being a radio jockey, it's like a trophy. It's like conquering. I think I celebrated that so much more because of that. Plus, for the fact that I've only seen failure. The fact that I was received well, the fact that people enjoyed. So, after tennis, I think I started celebrating every little small joys that gave me such. It dramatically transformed me into a happier person, happier human being.
So there's one thing I think when you talked about the language, actually if you look at it, I don't know the exact percentage, but I would think in India, we are a privileged few who study in English, think in English and all that stuff. A
Sure.
whole lot of them talk in their mother tongue.
No, sure.
Right?
But again, this shift has happened because I know English is the business language.
Yes,
If I want to do well, I need to improve English.
I agree.
And this profession also demanded that. So, and I had a thing for English. I somehow loved the language.
No, I was actually heading another way.
Okay.
So, for someone who comes from, let's say, a tier 2, tier 3 city, it is a struggle for them. They
Sure.
would have gone through this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I have seen, like, for example, in the IT world, we make fun of them.
Correct.
We tease them.
Yeah.
Like, their accent,
Yeah, yeah.
like, seat they day. Like, it's instead of sheet, they.
I know. Yeah.
Right?
Sure,
Seat
yeah.
they day. And we laugh about it.
Yeah.
How did you go about that?
When somebody laughed at my English, I mean,
Because you were putting in a lot of effort.
Yeah,
and no one knows that you're putting in this
I
kind
still
of effort.
go through that. Especially Aditi, the amount she's corrected, she thinks you're a disgrace, Prithvi. You can't speak English. A lot of my friends have corrected. So I love to be corrected because that's the only way you learn.
Yeah.
Of course, these are the tweaks and shifts in my mind. See, one is to get pissed off. Who are you to correct me?
Yeah.
It can knock your ego.
Yeah.
If you just step out of your pride and ego, there is so much you can learn if somebody is really telling you something. I have made those shifts. Thanks to Aditi, all these shifts have happened. She's been a great influence. I used to feel very small back in the days because I've made an ass of myself on stage too. Either with my humor or jokes that fell flat or with my English. But I come back home and think about it constructively, objectively, and keep the hurt aside. If you allow the hurt, you can be in it as long as you wish to. But if you quickly want to, the moment you come out of hurt to being objective, there is some learning. Lot more to learn easily.
I learned that in poker. Like in poker.
You learned that in poker.
I learned that in poker.
Okay.
So like when you play poker, initially they're all good players, right? It's all about skills. And everything is on my face. So like, they would guess I have a ace pair or a king pair and things like that. And I used to get angry losing. I don't like losing. I hate losing. So then you have to come back. You have to introspect the game.
Yeah.
What are things that you are doing that is not right? What are things that they are doing that is different?
Yeah.
And then go back into a new form next day.
Yeah.
And keep going back. Going back till
Yeah.
you start saying, okay, you're getting better at it. You're getting better at it.
Yeah, when you ask me how did I handle it, so audience member can be cocky sometimes, right?
Yeah. I've been one of those.
So in every situation on stage, in stage shows, events, the times I couldn't come back, I've thought about multiple other options how I could have come back so that I better myself for the next event. So I've done that over the years many, many times. And after a certain point, you become so comfortable with yourself. See, there are two ways to react. There are multiple ways to react to anything in life.
I don't care about what they're saying.
That is one way of reacting.
Yeah.
You can give it back. That's another way.
Yeah.
You can go with the flow and laugh it off. That's another way. Or three, you can apologize. Another way. There's so many ways.
Yeah.
You can pick and choose according to the situation.
Yes.
Over the years, when you're a lot more self-assured as a human being, your way of operating changes. But back in the day, it was different. Back in the day, it was ego. Yeah. I want to come back. You gave it to me. I want to give you back. Counter. It's a phase. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I've gone through that phase.
So that unlearning process, It's like a long process,
Oh.
and you have to want it. You cannot do it because someone told you to do it.
My unlearning happened after my first divorce. Till then, I was under my parents' shadow in the house. I didn't even think, do I want to marry? Because I was with my first wife, we were seeing each other. Societally speaking, the next thing was marriage. And next thing is kids. Somehow, good sense prevailed. I didn't have the kids. Otherwise, I would have... Actually, my priest who got me married, he said, Prithvi, ye very madkobada. First, maklu madkobudu. Have kids, everything will be fine.
I think you would have been a wonderful father.
That is different. But good sense prevailed. See, that is such an binding, getting two people through obligation.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have
Yeah.
a child, one.
Yeah.
And two, the kind of issues that me and my first wife were going through, there was no way I didn't want to continue this. And I didn't see this was sustainable. There are these times, no matter how kind you want to be, you have to take a call for your selfish reasons.
Yeah.
And I took it, and I decided beyond this is her journey, it is not my journey.
Yeah.
That was hard. Again, I've cried like a baby after my first divorce. But for me, everything was till I moved. I told you that all the unlearning that happened was after my first divorce. The first call for me to think divorce itself took a lot of courage. It is not a comfortable word otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Back in the days. Now, of course, it's far more easy these days. And nobody in the family have heard this word divorce. But that was the first step towards freedom in the way you want to think. Otherwise, you're thinking through your parents, your thoughts are limited, you don't even question people. You don't question marriage, you don't question so many things. That was... I would say kind of a turning point for all the unlearning. It's a continuous process. I mean,
Taking a quick break from our conversation today, I wanted to quickly talk about our collaboration partner, Hubhopper. This podcast was created on Hubhopper Studio. If you wish to start your own podcast for free, please visit www.hubhopperstudio.com. Hubhopper is India's leading podcast creation platform. Start your podcast with Hubhopper Studio and get your voice heard across platforms like Spotify, Gaana, Google Podcasts, Wink Music, and many more. Click on the link in the episode description or visit hubhopperstudio.com. Thank you, Hubhopper, for the collaboration. And now we go back to our conversation. In this journey, what I also found, and I've seen you in some of your shows in the beginning too. I love your shows these days. I love every bit of what you do.
what a sweet darling.
love
You're
you,
really.
man.
Thank you
Like,
so much.
you're the best.
You're such a darling. You made my day.
So you have a very good sense of your audience. Who are these people?
It took 20 years, no?
Right?
If
Yeah.
I don't have sense of what is even today, after 20 years.
No,
Actually, was a wrong profession. Prithvi, do something else.
Actually, I've seen many like this in the IT world who've been in the business but still don't understand their audience, the customer really well. So, there is a conscious effort you've put in to really know your audience. And thereby then, because it's not easy to get on stage. As a kid, I used to try to do debates and all on the stage, and I used to be shitting bricks. Right? Presentations, even now, like
I
stepping on
understand.
stage, it requires a lot of groundwork, a preparation,
Yeah.
everything, right? How did you go about that journey?
Oh, good.
And because
question.
people are like,
I'm glad you bought this. So this hopefully would be interesting to those who want to be on stage. It's not that I'm an expert or qualified, but I'll speak from my experience.
yes,
So first show, Saujanya, first few actually. You're thinking your lines, what will I say when you start the event? you're rehearsing your lines, you're practicing. Initially, what you have not noticed is your body language.
Yeah.
So I held my mic. My left hand is awkward. I don't know where to keep it.
Yes.
Is it going behind me? Is it just dropping?
Pockets.
All those things will fall in place the moment you start your journey with your first
Yes.
entry on stage.
Yes.
And then every other show is a learning process. Then I used to come home, ponder about what went wrong, where was I uncomfortable, have I spoken here too much, what was my left hand doing, should I hold the mic in right hand, how should I stand,
Yes.
who should I look, am I escaping looking into audience faces, or because you're nervous yourself. There's nervous energy when you start anything, more often than not. How do you deal with that?
Yeah.
I used to rehearse a lot, stand in front of a mirror, and actually sometimes just whether my eyes closed or not, when I speak, I used to visualize how I want to stand, which side am I moving.
Oh, that's where the left profile started.
What do you mean?
Photo.
Oh, I'm not into left or right profile, because both the profiles are equally bad. So I don't worry about that. Those things matter initially.
Yeah.
You keep on adjusting and make those changes one by one.
Yeah.
Because you're also speaking, and you also know how you're standing, where you're looking. I'm talking about, let's say, 1,000 people in front of you.
Right.
All these make a big difference, and you need to visualize. No matter how much you visualize, you need to have the first-hand experience. It's like theoretically, no matter how much you can learn about driving a car, you have to be on the road for you to get a sense of what it is.
Yeah.
The more you get onto the road, the better you will get.
Yeah.
It's like the first day of typing and then the 10th year of typing. Then
Yeah.
you don't look here, then you're looking at the content straight.
Yeah.
So a lot of things. I mean, I'm sure you can relate to in your profession, your own experience.
Yeah.
The first day of sales, what's the 10th year of sales?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you learn. But yeah, I've looked into all these nuances very finely. I keenly observe these things because it's so important for me, because I felt so awkward about it so many times. Then what you wear, all of this changed over the year. How I look.
Yes.
When I said I've groomed myself, because there are so many things I didn't like about me.
Yeah.
And today I'm self-assured.
Comfortable.
I like what I've done to myself.
Yeah.
It is you're molded the way you want to.
Yeah.
You can mold the way you want to. I want to mold the way I want to.
Yeah.
What I wear, how I speak, how I sit, how I interact, everything is consciously done. Yes. I think thanks to this profession has helped me so immensely. That you keenly look inward. And when you ask me this about audience, you ask me, right? How do you gauge? The way I look at a show is first put myself in the audience shoes. If I were to be the audience member, what would I like to see on stage? Would I want to say this or say that? Would I want to stand like this or stand that? And what would offend, what would not offend? What would keep them gentle? If some MC comes and attacks me when I was an audience member, I used to get so nervous. Oh my God, what is he going to ask? I never want to put audience in that space ever. So I start with that friendly tone icebreaker, the very beginning of events. Deliberate. I want my audience member the way I like to feel. If I have an audience member, I want to have a great time. Not be cocky and pick somebody and have fun. I want to have... If you set the tone, then they're okay for this friendly banter and a little bit of poke and fun and sarcasm. But otherwise... No, I thought initially that was the only way to be. Be cocky, that was cocky. Being a cocky is a good MC. Being cocky is a good RJ. But a lot of unlearning and speed. I used to speak so fast. I used to swallow words. I still do sometimes. Deliberately slowed down. This is all over the years.
I think what I'm also sort of understanding is any skill, right? Any profession.
Yeah.
If you have to ace it to a point where, you start enjoying and you start being respected, there's a mountain of effort that you've put in. And people only see the tip of the iceberg, but the effort that has gone in is a lot more.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. There is a lot of effort, but I've enjoyed the journey.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
the end goal is to really get better at your craft,
Yeah.
right? So that is,
Yeah.
you can do anything for that.
So, what is the most horrible audience experience you've had?
There are few. I remember this was a very early part of my career as an MC, not as a radio jockey. I was not on radio yet. So I'm first an MC, then a radio jockey. I think this was in the Park Hotel, this cricket match. I think Castle Beer is one of the sponsors. There was live screening. I had to go and interact and have some fun with the audience every break. That was my job. I think they paid me 800 a day or something. This was for around 20 or 1 month campaign. I was like, wow, just decades ago. So when you lack experience, you try to overcompensate by saying something stupid sometimes. Those things have happened many times. And the audience have giggled and poked fun. It's like, there was nothing funny about some question, but I took the mic and said, oh, this is funny. Somebody said, oh, I'm already laughing. I didn't know how to react to those situations back then. This was, of course, I was a kid. But I have come back and thought about how I could have bettered and how I could have... First of all, there was no need for me to say, oh, it's funny. It's the question I'm asking. When you lack experience, you want to look cool, you want to sound cool, you just do some stupid things. Yeah. And how I dealt, just like how I dealt with tennis, accept it. Acceptance, and then you can come and work on it.
So humor is part of a major part of who you are.
Defense mechanism.
Right?
Yeah. Totally. That has held me in good stead, but I will tell you.
Yes. And I think it is like a magnet. Because people sort of look for laughter. People sort of look for these moments of joy. And so that is where when you walk in, you bring that energy. Because you're like one big portly of humor, right?
Really, that's what... I'm so glad you see like that. Yeah.
Right?
I read this somewhere and somehow I started believing it's true. The moment you treat a problem with humor, it will break down the problem to its desired proportions. Let's say you don't treat that problem with humor. You can think, overanalyze. Perhaps the problem can get bigger than what it is. But a bit of distraction in humor sometimes can actually break it down to its desired proportions. Plus, you're in a calmer state of mind to deal with issues.
Yeah.
Which has helped me immensely. I'm not saying this is the only way to be, but my favorite friend is humor. It has held me in good stead, whether I went through breakups or my divorces or handling a tough situation, maybe at work or not, even audience and all the shows. Humor can really add so much value. There are so many major goof-ups that happen backstage, technical glitches. Just a line or two can lighten the moment.
Yeah.
If you don't say that at that moment, and if you
let it pass
or say something or say anything without humor, it can grow, it can become a tense situation. That awkwardness can kill you or the audience. Just humor can just lighten, I think, any moment. But this was one of the biggest complaint Aditi had. All the time humor. You treat anything with seriousness? So there are times I also pondered about that. I think you don't have to have humor every time.
Yeah.
But over the years, you will have a better sense of timing for your humor too. You can add humor wherever it's difficult. For the self, and this is my coping mechanism, right? When I am in trouble, I try to use humor too. One, it breaks the tension, and personally I get calmer. And if I'm calmer, I can think better and
Your
react
reaction is
better.
different.
Yeah.
And so when you prepare for a show, now you can't always say my audience, at least in the beginning, now you have a certain category of audience that you cater to.
All kinds of audience. From the manufacturing unit workers to the security people to the people in IT sector, the corporates, the CEOs. It's a wide spectrum. Every event is different. But sorry, your question is otherwise.
So where I was headed is, you need to, in that case, like this is a bigger thing, right? So your genre of audience is like so vast, right? So when you're doing a show, like a radio show, you need to cater to different mindsets.
Sure.
Right? What I find funny, you may not find funny.
Absolutely.
And so it's not like I can please all my audience.
Never. You can never please anyone. The sooner you understand, the better.
Yes.
But everyone has their place.
Yes.
Is Rajinikanth a superstar?
Yes.
Amitabh Bachchan superstar? Bruce Lee a superstar? Jackie Chan a superstar? Shah Rukh Khan superstar? But they all command their space, and not everyone likes everyone. You may not like Shah Rukh Khan, you may not like Amitabh Bachchan, but that's okay. You be sincere in what you want to do. I think you will have your own following, and not necessarily everyone will like you or your humor or your acting or your craft.
When you're preparing for a show which has this vast audience, like from different backgrounds, different genres, different culture.
Honestly, I hardly prepare these days. The last few years, no preparation as such.
That's where I was headed. So
I told you, first year of typing, when you look at the keys,
now it is like,
now you look at the screen. Your fingers will move automatically where it requires. There's no preparation. Even before I go to an event, especially most of the events are corporate events. The moment I see the flow, I already know what am I doing, where am I doing what. I'm not saying every show is that, but mostly 80% of the time, that preparation will be a little different away from my genre of events. For example, it's a press conference or launch. Then I struggle to do those kind of shows because I need humor everywhere. I need to have fun. There are some events that require absolute gravitas, full seriousness. That is, for me, those events are challenging. For that, I need preparation. Otherwise, just go and have fun with the audience. I will enjoy. I'll thrive. That's my space.
And you're pretty hands-on as well, right? Like the other day when I saw you in your radio show. You sort of do everything, right? From your editing to production to everything.
Every jock, more or less, every radio jock.
Oh, is it?
More or less, yeah.
Oh.
Of course, you have your producer, but of late,
Bhuvana,
because she got pregnant in the lockdown. Thanks, Bhuvana. I don't know if she's listening to this. Anyway, no, otherwise
the weather was pleasant during lockdown.
it was, yes. And she had a lockdown of different kind. Net, more or less, jocks are prepared to handle. Because initially when I started, we all started doing everything by ourselves. I started in All India Radio. We had to go to the library and get our music. It started there. The private stations now are very, very different. You have a music manager who puts music in place. Back in the days, you used to do everything ourselves. Yeah, you're pretty much trained to handle it. It's the basic software. You can handle it.
I'll just completely switch gear to your Bigg Boss journey. And I was surprised when you told that Bigg Boss, let me see if I can paint the picture of that house. It's like some 4,000, 5,000 square feet area.
Oh, somebody has done her research.
Illappa, I don't
actually. I don't know the square feet. But
whatever,
anyway.
I'm just guessing.
No, it's bigger than that.
Bigger than that?
Way bigger.
Like what, 10,000 square feet?
More, yeah. It has a swimming pool and everything, right? And the front garden, it is like the entire place is almost maybe half a football stadium.
Are you serious?
Something very big.
Oh, okay. So let's assume
it's okay,
big house. Okay. No TV, no books, no music, no entertainment of your own. It's basically
You're
you're
fellow
stuck
human
with
beings.
11 people or 12 people,
15, 16 depends.
depending on that. And you're given certain
Some
tasks
tasks by
and
Bigg
things
Boss.
like that. But you're also doing everything, like right from toilet cleaning to cooking to everything.
Absolutely, yes.
It's like a mindfuck space.
Not for me.
That's where I was coming. So
What is so mindfucked about it?
I'll
me.
tell you.
Oh, Saujanya, for you it is a mindfucking space because you're such a spoilt wife. Your husband has spoilt you, silly.
Don't.
Yes,
Don't
Shamil is-
flatter that fellow more.
But that's the truth. Otherwise, why does it mindfuck you? I won't understand.
It's
Because
like,
out of space that you're coming from, where I'm coming from.
okay, hear me out. Okay, so it's a place. First thing is you don't have your breakout ways. Like for you, if you need to sort of rejuvenate or need some silent space, you need a book or you need to listen to music or you want to watch something. Or you just
You
wanna,
need it. Make I statements. You.
I need it.
Not me.
Okay.
You need.
I
Fine.
need it.
Fair. Okay.
I would think many people would need this. But, okay,
Okay.
let me continue. Okay, and then there's also the scenario, she said, he said, and kitty pitty, like, it's like one groupism and everything happening there. And the what is the right word? The gracefulness in which you were there in that house. I was so proud to know you.
Really?
Oh, I cannot tell you. I was so proud to have you as my friend. And I installed, actually, I was not watching Bigg Boss and all.
So sweet
but I
that you watched
remember
for me.
installing Woot and watching this
So many
every
did that.
hour.
I'm so thankful for those who watched just because of me. So sweet.
But that is some different experience, right?
for me, it was.
But you didn't go through that.
Please, no. Was I any different from what I am in front of you?
No.
Exactly. That is the person I have become.
Exactly.
And that's the person I've
But
trained
how?
to become.
How? How do you train yourself?
You speak your heart.
Yeah.
Sorted.
But we speak our heart to hurt others also.
I don't.
Yeah, you don't.
That's what you train. I told you the core philosophy. Treat another human being the way you like to be treated. If you don't like it done to you, then don't do it to others. This is the real core philosophy. It's easy for me to just be. Whether you see me on stage, I'm like this. Whether you're interviewing me here in the studio, I'm like this. You have seen me with a bunch of friends.
You're the
Do
same.
you see big fluctuation in the way I am? So it's so easy. It's not. It was a breeze for me to just walk. For me, I went out of curiosity. The channel Colors TV called. They reached out. I said yes, definitely yes. And I told them categorically. I just put it on the table, saying I have not watched a single episode of Bigg Boss.
Yeah.
I know Bigg Boss exists. I don't know what happens inside. I don't know who the inmates this time are. I asked him, should I do some research before I come back? He said, no, go like this. Just went.
But did you have a good time?
Of course. Would I do it again? Definitely yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wish I'd. I wish I'd. If I could stay much longer. See, to stay much longer, you need to have some fluctuation in your emotions, in some drama.
You're very consistent.
Become beyond a point. What is the audience getting out of me? Nothing. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I was very well received and appreciated. People loved my. I spoke about my life, like what I did in with you in front of this mic. I opened my book about my divorces, my relationship, everything. And people are in awe of, oh my God, Prithvi, how do you live like that? How do you come and say in front of national television? I said, because I gave myself the permission. The only person who is not allowing you to live the way you want is you. That's because maybe you're too enslaved with the circumstance, with log kya kahenge. What will people think? I think you're more concerned about the reactions. I have lived it the way I want to. In the process, where is the end to say, okay, as much as I want to be a kind human being, not hurt. But in your everyday living, you will end up hurting someone. For example, my atrocious clothes that I wear. I know my mom sometimes gets hurt. It's like, why do you wear clothes like this? Or somebody doesn't like. But that is something that you need to work on.
Yeah.
But largely, yeah, I gave myself the permission to live the life I want to live. Who is stopping you? Only you. Mostly. Unless... No, it's you. Let's say even if it's your parents saying do this, but it's still your choice if you want to break out of that and live the way you want to live. It's still your choice. Finally, it boils down to only you. You can live the way you want to live. Who is stopping you?
I remember when you talked about clothes. When I was a kid, I think as a teenager, I used to be decently pretty. Not very pretty, but decently pretty.
Decently pretty? Not so pretty. Decently.
So, my mum was very strict. So, batte ella has to be like really long length, covering every part of your body and all. So, I used to wear a short skirt inside and a long skirt. And as I'm walking, I used to start...
Born rebel, Nina. But what will be interesting is what did that do to you when your mom said cover your skin, as a kid, what was the impact of those lines?
For me as a person, it was like, you will have to give me...
It's a violation of your freedom?
Yeah. It's up to me to decide, right? Like, I will decide.
Correct.
Let me decide whether I can wear small, short skirts or like, whatever it is.
Sure.
So I used to... And then eventually I found my style. Right? Even now, like when I was buying my last vehicle, I said I want to buy a Thar. My mother was like, why can't you be like other girls?
Correct. I get it. I understand.
Right?
Yeah.
So, what triggered a change in your style? Was that like right from the beginning there was this style in Prithvi?
No.
How did you discover it?
The starting point is I was bored to death with men's fashion.
Like so
Chaddi, t-shirt, pant, shirt, over. That is men's fashion. More or less.
Yeah.
90% of it is that.
Yeah.
For the fact that I got into glamorous profession, going onto the stage, glitz and glamour, the light, audience, I was not happy with what I was wearing. I thought everything is all right. First of all, I need to compensate for the looks. At least good clothes.
Why? I think you're a very good looking person.
So, you've seen my holiday snaps, right? Old snaps. Then, were they good looking? No, so you've groomed yourself.
Yeah.
So, me, we are all, I'm sure, we might have had a certain imagery that you want to shift from that to this. Be it your body. I was lanky. I hated that. I wanted to put on muscles. Worked. Hair with my scanty. I had long ponytail.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm talking, forget the internal, just external appearance. I was not happy. It is my choice. If I'm happy, I can admit I wasn't. And I did some changes for the better. Everyone wants a good house, good car, good thing. I also want to look good, be pleasant. I want to wear good clothes. I want to also live well, do good things. So there was a choice that I made. These changes, the starting point was actually, I was bored of men's fashion. And plus, back in the days, my mom used to select stuff for me. I always used to fight with her and tease. I mean, we used to laugh about it, not like serious fight. I never subscribed to her sense of fashion. In between, I was confused. I don't know what I was doing. There was that phase. Then there was the first wife phase that she liked something on me. I liked it through her. Then after the first divorce, I don't know what, there was freedom in every sense of my life. Then I started experimenting what I wanted to wear, which I never actually explored. It's always somebody else selecting or always taking an opinion. Hey, Sojana, how is this looking? Hey, Akash, how is this looking? I would never be confident to say, oh my, I was scared. I didn't have the confidence to make decisions and to stick by my decision and to face the consequences. I took a chance. Of course, I failed many times. Some were liked, some not. What sealed it was when fashion designers used to come onto the show and say, we love what you wear. That was like, oh, wow, really? You're unsure about so many things, right? Initially, so many aspects of your life.
I remember, was this when we were going to Thailand or I don't remember? Where?
The
At the
kaftan.
airport.
Huh.
Yeah, someone
The
came running to you and, oh, I love what you're wearing.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I was like, wow, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So that's how experimenting with clothes and everything about life started. Everything about life, be it relationships, be it the way you want to be in a relationship, or the whole funda about marriage. Everything I started questioning. All the unlearning that you spoke about happened much later.
So this is after your first marriage, you went through this massive transformation.
I think I would like to say yes, that was a major shift, because that was the first independent decision I took without asking my parents.
But your first marriage was your decision.
Actually, I didn't know how to say no. And I've told...
should talk about this now.
I have told this to Betsy, my first wife, and also my second Aditi. I've told both of them. I didn't know how to say no. That's how I got into marriage.
Which is a struggle most of us go through, right? Like we don't know how to say no either, because we think we will hurt you.
But imagine getting into a marriage because you didn't say how to say no. Not once, twice. Sorry, Betsy and Aditi. Oh no, I love Aditi.
Yeah, I also love it.
You have such a great equation. But I've told her. I have confronted and acknowledged these issues.
But can you say no now?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable to say no now?
Yes.
How did you break
But
that?
largely, I still struggle with it. But when it comes to relationships, first, no. I'm a no now. Okay, let's. First will be everything on the table. This is what it is. Yes, just ta. We'll pick it from where it is. There is no hide and seek.
Yeah, that I've seen.
In
You're
the-
a very transparent, very
I have
open.
become that.
Yes. And that's the nice part about you. Like,
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
And you don't crack jokes on others, at others' expense. It's always at your expense. That's another thing I've seen about you.
That I learned
which
from
is-
my mother.
Yeah?
I think it's so cool to do that.
Yeah. Because you're making yourself vulnerable
Same
and
time.
bringing in humor, right? And
Sure,
that's
yeah.
a very rare combination. People always crack jokes at others' expense.
They can't
But
take a joke on
a
them.
joke on themselves. They get
Yeah.
angry. They get irritated. You can see their face. It's like poker again, right? You can't take losing.
And apparently, this is for those whoever is consuming this, especially if you want to try out new relationships, if you want to take your man out or a woman out. Apparently, a game of sport tells so much about both of them.
Yes.
What years and years of sitting next to each other in office can't say. One game of sport will bring so many sides.
Yeah.
How are you handling competition? How are you handling victories? How are you handling other subtle things that is not seen, or your failures? Lot can come just by playing a game. So that's next time you want to date, I think you should take him or her.
You should do poker. I think anybody who should
That's
date,
a game too. Sure.
right?
Maybe.
You should just sit there, because it shows you how you handle money.
No. Post-marriage, you might have a poker face. How will you know what he or she is doing? My husband is just playing poker. Full poker face. I don't know what he's doing in life. You want to play poker and learn. Good luck. Try that too. I would say some physical sport. Anyway, you are...
But let me give you my reasoning. You're dealt with cards, right? Now, I'm assuming I'm good at poker and I'm checking you out, right? That's the assumption, all right? So you might be much better than that, then I'm fucked. Because you can just put up a poker face. But if I'm assuming I'm better than you and I play with you, you're dealt with 2 cards, I'm dealt with 2 cards, we bet. It's right from your betting. We can see how you manage finances, to how you manage your emotions, how you twitch and move and react to every round.
Awesome.
What kind of betting you're doing, when do you fold, a whole lot of things. You learn about that person. That's why poker is a skill game.
Sure, it's a skill game. Who
Right?
said
And
no?
I agree with you, any sport for that matter, because
Any sport requires skill, whether
Yes.
it's indoor or outdoor. It requires certain amount of
But
skill.
I felt like when I started playing Prithu, and I love sports, right? And I really think it's a good teacher. But when I started playing poker, I hated losing. Like, That's the worst behavior I used to get. I used to get angry. I used to get out of the room. I used to get snappy. From there to today, laughter and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of effort that goes in. But have you dated someone and taken them to play something to figure out they're not a fit?
Actually, my first girlfriend was my first wife, Betsy.
Was your first 5?
First wife.
First wife.
My first girlfriend was my first 5. First wife.
Like, oh.
Yeah, we used to play tennis. That's how I know her. She's a tennis player
You met
herself.
her at PTA?
Hey! PTA was school! I didn't meet her in school. I went in college. I mean, I started 13. Are you in school? Oh yeah, but no, I met her much later. She was a tennis player herself. Both she and her sister. Sister was ranked in the world.
Oh.
Trishna and Shweta Williams. That's how I met her.
Why were you calling her Betsy?
Betsy was a pet name.
Oh.
But tennis names ranked in the world was Williams sisters. Both were pretty good.
They also have like your thighs?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. We have felt each other's thighs.
Of course. Wives, no?
Sure. No, even otherwise. Even friends, why you can't check out somebody's calves? Yeah, we used to go for a game of bowling. Yeah, we like sports that way. But yeah, Aditi, she was terrible. She was just like you. Loss, fight, argue, hit.
Yeah.
She's capable of doing that. But and we used to play badminton in front of her gate, Aditi's house, without net. And she thought she was a great player. And she said, "Say, I'll defeat you like this." She had no clue how real badminton court even looked. But that physical sports, she hasn't played much. But anyway, she's a darling. But we have played, sports, together, yes. Trek, we've gone to treks and things like that.
But
much later, I think I've influenced her when it comes to exercising and going on treks, and she really took shine to that lifestyle too.
So, in a full summary, in a nutshell.
We'll summarize this in the next 30 minutes. Whatever we have spoken, now let's summarize this. Have you spoken to all your guests this long?
No, man.
How long is this? Has been?
An hour and 20.
Hour and 20 minutes! Man!
It's a lovely conversation, right? How can you stop this conversation?
Yeah, but those who are listening, you can be the judge of that.
So,
Summary.
in a nutshell, what is future looking like for Prithvi? With this whole journey you've embarked on so far till now, what is the future looking like?
Hopefully, I land up inspiring more people. Again, hopefully to be better versions of themselves and better human beings. And hope I entertain more people. That's always been the intent, at least from in the last few years, of me just wanting to be an entertainer to now I wanted to really genuinely try in my own way, in my capacity and my limited life experience. If I can help somebody, I would love to do that. Even if I've changed one or anything more than one is a bonus. If I've changed one life, it's worth it. Future, I don't know. I'm always been this person who takes every day as it comes.
You live in the present.
I really do. Live in the present to the fullest, but without being attached.
Yeah.
Non-attachment.
Yeah.
It has helped me in good stead. I don't know what the future holds, but I would love to entertain, maybe in different platforms. And I would love, in the same breath, I would like to say, if I could also inspire people in any which way I can, I would love to. Yeah.
I think you live by these words. I definitely see that. Because you always live in the present and to the fullest.
Because past belongs in the past. There's nothing you can do with your past. and you're not in control of your future.
Yes.
The best you can do is to live well now
Yes.
and hope for a better future.
What is the advice you will give to the youngsters who are just starting their careers?
Stay young, don't grow up. I was kidding.
Oh.
No, I was kidding.
This tattoo is a symbol of that.
Oh! The tattoo has been morphed to. I don't know what is it supposed to be.
This.
You can show it to the camera. Can you see it?
Wait, I'll show. Hold on. Let me.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So,
please look at her
Can you see
traumatic
it?
childhood.
Not
Scar.
childhood.
Childhood scars.
This is not childhood.
Then?
I went to Norway to.
You didn't go to a professional artist, or was he tripping on something?
I went to Bergen, and my
Bergen
friends Leonardo did this. The tattoo artist's name is Leonardo from Bergen in Norway, and it was supposed to be only so much, and he said,
He's some angel. What is this?
This is Peter Pan, Wendy, and what is that? Tinkerbell. So they never grow up. I really believe in that whole concept of live in the moment, never grow up. And so this is a fuck up that has happened as a result of that.
Oh, my serious advice to people. I may have two.
Oh,
One,
okay.
learn to forgive.
Yeah. That's a hard role.
It is the only way you move forward is with forgiveness. Otherwise, you can be stuck with anger and angst and pain endlessly for years. People have lived and died and they've gone because they haven't forgiven.
Yeah.
It could be your parents, your father, your mother, your wife, your boyfriend. I would like to say forgiveness is not for the other person but for your own sanity and growth.
Yeah.
If you cannot forgive anybody for whatever they have caused you, you can stay there forever. Life moves on. People move on. The world goes on. You will be stuck there. My first advice, forgiveness. 2, to really treat another human being the way you like to be treated.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. The rest, I think, will fall in place.
Yeah. I think I agree. I totally agree with you. Both are very important. You need to let go.
Yeah.
And you need to treat people
And
with kindness.
Yes, and forgiveness can't be lip service forgiveness.
Yes. You do
I have a test for this.
Oh.
If you can wake up in the morning or not wake up, if you can close your eyes and wish well for that person, then maybe you are forgiven. Otherwise, it's only lip service. Can you wish well, really wish well for that person? That's, I think, true forgiveness
Very
in
nice.
my book.
Very nice. Very nice. ಒಂದು ಹಾಡು
Hey, Naren.
ಪ್ಲೀಸ್
ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗಿದು ಸಮರಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಹಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಣ್ಣ? ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಹಾಡು. I'm not a singer.
Of course you are a
I'm
bloody good
Hey,
singer.
man, I don't know what to
You're a wonderful singer. One song. And don't sing one line and all.
2 lines. I'll tell you, if you give me a karaoke set, I can sing. Because I am so dependent on lyrics.
Okay, you want lyrics. You want lyrics.
No.
I'll give you
I need
lyrics.
music. I need music.
Okay, I'll give you
I need audience. I need mic. I need condenser. I need headphones. I need everything. No. Therefore, 2 lines I'll sing for you. I don't know. Why would you come and ask me to sing?
Yeah, in the end, I'd like to. I come with a mission, pa.
In the end, people should sing and
All the guests, sir.
and just suddenly lose your full worth of 1.5 hours. Just 2 lines.
Prithvi, cleavage ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದೆ.
Kindly. Oh God, which song to sing? Yeah. There's only, I think I know 2 lines.
Kannada song.
Kannada song.
Okay, whatever song.
I don't know. ಯಾವ song?
Okay. It's okay. Sing whatever song. It's okay. But after that, can you sing one more Kannada song?
ಏನೇ ನಿಂತು ಸೌಜನ್ಯ ಏನೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಆಮೇಲೆ ತಮಿಳ್ ತೆಲುಗು ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಅದರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್
ಒಂದು ಹಿಂದಿನೂ ಹಾಡೋಕೆ
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah, Louis Armstrong.
Oh.
Saku. I enjoy doing it. When you really have, karaoke or something in front of me, because I'm very bad with lyrics. For me, I listen to music through tunes, unlike people who enjoy music for lyrics. I am not the lyrics guy. I just like the certain sounds. It has a certain effect.
It's like
Very bad. See, I'm a professional radio jockey for almost 16 years. I can't sing a single song. I don't relate to songs in terms of which song is which movie. For me, it is just sound. Lyrics, I'm terrible.
This is like Adya choreographs her own songs, right? She dances. So she says she listens to the beats.
So
And
each
the beats,
to each his own, different.
Yeah. Interesting. One Kannada song.
ಕಾಣದಂತೆ ಮಾಯವಾದನು ನಮ್ಮ ಶಿವ ಕೈಲಾಸ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡನು ಕೊಡುವುದನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡುವುದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೈಯ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿ ಓಡಿ ಹೋದನು. I think the video is fun. Audio, those who heard this, sorry. Video is fun for this particular song.
Well, Prithvi, thank you so much.
My pleasure, Saujanya. I want to give you a hug and a kiss because this is something that you have allowed yourself, and therefore you're making this happen.
Yes.
It might have been there with you for all these years. You have allowed yourself to make this happen.
Yeah.
So if you allow yourself, you can let a lot of things
I shoot
happen.
bricks every day when I have to see the camera.
That's all right.
Because I'm extremely camera shy.
But this is a starting. There's always a starting point for something.
Yeah.
You never know where things can lead or evolve.
Yeah.
But at least you're trying it. I've tried so many other things too. But you will be finally good at something which you already know you're good at sales. That you're nailed it. Right?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm good at sales, but I'm, managed.
Why? You nicely sold yourself to Shamir. He bought it. What a good sales girl.
Although there he says he was a better seller.
Why? He sold yours.
So-
He sold himself to you.
Yeah, so when we were dating, Bugger used to come from the US. First thing he said, I was in the US, so you just fell for that. And I said, hello? I could have gone to the US on my own caliber. I didn't need you. Then he said, whenever he used to come here, he used to say, you want to go shop at Folio? I think we should go there and all. And I used to think, such
so
a
you with all
nice
the riches
guy.
and-
He's like spending on me. Aamele shopper stopper lifestyle.
Well done, Shamir. Well done. Good.
I'm
Good
like,
transition.
What is that? That is all marketing pictures. This is
He's
reality.
also a man
he
with a
said.
plan. You said, no, a man with a person with a mission. I'm sure even he is. Both of you are made for each other. Anyway, I congratulate you on this journey. Wherever it's taking, wherever it's leading, I only wish you well.
Thank you.
But I am excited for you because for you to have come out of the mold of being the Saujanya few months ago to what you are becoming takes a lot of courage. So full points to that. Well done.
Thank you.
All the best. Come on, I want to give you a
I want to give you a
ಇದು camera ಕಾಣಲ್ಲ full, but I'm going to give you a hug and a nice kiss. So happy for you. That's it. Go home, everyone. Aito. Podcast finished.
show.
The last song is called Hari Om. ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಹರಿ ಹೋಮ್